Yeah, I definitely wanted the north side and the south side tap parties to be in close proximity to both ballparks because this is a baseball beer.
Yo, welcome to Beers and Bars,
your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and of course great beer.
I am Kamal Kiddo.
OT the Golden Child. Thank y'all for checking out our last episode featuring the homie DJ Sparks down in Houston, Texas.
Shout out Sparks.
If you ever going through the Houston area, make sure you check out the 627 food truck. You know what I'm saying? They got great delicious food down there and all that, man. They pop up at places, so just make sure you follow them.
You should follow them. Food looks delicious for real.
And follow my homie Sparks. That's Design Lab Sparks. You know what I'm saying, on IG for your graphic design needs. So, yeah, man. We are here today with a first time on the show guest. You know what I'm saying? First time stopping by Beers and Bars. We're gonna let my man introduce himself. Go ahead, my brother.
My name's Jay Westbrook, aka the Black Beer Baron. Just an aspiring brewer trying to make dope beer with dope people for dope causes. You know what I'm saying? Simple man lead a simple life, but love dope ass beer.
Word up,
beautiful,
man.
Beautiful. We're gonna talk to Jay today about a beer that he has coming up soon to release. It's not out yet, right?
Depending on who you ask. You ask nicely, I might be able to find the ground.
But it's not widely released yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it ain't in the streets until next Tuesday.
Okay, got you. So we're gonna talk to Jay about what he got going on, and we're going to talk about G Herbo's latest album, 25.
Yes, sir.
Chicago's on.
Crazy.
Right. It's a real Chicago episode today, man.
Yeah, man.
Chicago episode, Chicago vibes today. What are we drinking, fellas? What are we drinking?
I'm gonna kick it off, man. We were talking before the show. I gotta give a big shout out to the missus for her new endeavor, her new Tavor experience, and her, you know, wanting to just get me beers off of there from all over the place. So shout out to my wife, man. I got some wild shit going on here today, man. I got what's called Epicurean from Urban Artifact, which is a brewery out in Cincinnati, Ohio. This joint is a peanut butter and blackberry jelly ale brewed with roasted peanuts and blackberries, coming in at 8.5%. So I've never done anything like this in my life. I've definitely had some different fruited sour type situations and whatnot, but this is a straight peanut butter and jelly blackberry jelly ale. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy. So I'm gonna see what this joint looking like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
I actually like that burgundy looking.
Yeah, man.
That burgundy color, man. Oh,
that is
it almost changed colors.
Color.
Yeah,
it did. That happened.
All right,
that's different, man. You definitely get a hint of the blackberries. You know what I'm saying? On the back end, you get the peanut butter. It's basically like catching those blackberries up front, but on the back end, that peanut butter kind of pop out at you. So this is some wild shit. I never had anything like this.
It's fruited sour.
On the can, no, it is a peanut butter and blackberry jelly ale.
Oh,
it does not give any credit to it being a sour at all. It does have that tart, you know, kind of finish towards the end. But yeah. Also, big shout out to Maplewood. We was there in January of 2020 before everything shut down. Right, Kamal? Yeah, January of 2020.
Yeah.
If the show goes a little long, you know, we had with this. Jay is from Chicago. We from Chicago. G Herbo is from Chicago. So I had to stick with, you know, at least one Chicago brewery. So Maplewood, Sabro Transit Authority. This is a double dry hop. I think this joint is a brew with 100% with Sabro hops, I believe, and it's coming in at 7%. So yeah,
word up.
Got the Chicago Transit Authority looking type, you know, joint on there.
I'm a sucker for Chicago imagery, Chicago flag imagery, anything that represents the city well and in a positive and a beautiful light. I'm with it.
Yeah, man. You know, Maywood all day, Blue Line representative. You know what I'm saying? Forest Park to, you know, yeah.
Oh. I always wanted to know somebody that took the Blue Line. I felt like, who rides the Blue Line? And like, I knew some people that took the Pink Line. But anyway.
Yeah.
Jay, what you got going on over there, man?
I'm actually sipping on my Black Beer Baron Black IPA. It's a collaboration I did with Venn Brewing up in Minneapolis. Shout out to the head brewer up there, Ben Michaels, as well as the founder, Kyle. Went up there to visit my homie Ben and his wife and his newborn. They had a baby during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I was coming to see his wife and his kid. And one day, randomly, he was like, okay, so what kind of beer do you want to brew while you're up here?
Word.
I was like, wait,
Wow.
what? This was a social visit, bruh. I didn't come here to work. I came here to socialize. You know what I'm saying? But I see what they were doing, and I was absolutely with it, you know? So long story short, I got up to Minneapolis, and first thing I did when I touched down was visit 38th in Chicago, George Floyd Square. And, you know, just walking around that area and chatting with people and, you know, finding some commonality between that intersection and then, let's say, 71st and Jeffrey or Madison and Laramie. And I think they kind of recognized that and they respected it. So I was inspired by that sense of inclusion. And that's my greater purpose, to keep pushing for diversity and inclusion in craft beer. And I was so inspired by that sense of inclusion and that sense of welcoming that I decided to name a beer after the intersection, not necessarily referencing the events of May 25th, 2020, but definitely putting a spotlight on that neighborhood and letting the world know that they're bigger than what happened that one day. But then kind of pulled the rug out from under me and decided to name it after my new company, Black Beer Baron, as a surprise and a thank you to me. So again, very appreciative for all of the love that I got in Minnesota. And like I said, I got a dope ass Black IPA out of it. No Chicago distro, kids. Don't ask.
What's the ABV on that joint, man? What's going on with that?
It's a beautiful 6 even. We brewed it with 100% Maris Otter malt. We finished it off with some Willamette, some Warriors, some Simcoe.
Okay.
Got some Cinnamar involved to help darken it. Again, I'm with the Black IPA and how strong it is. But I like my drinks black like my soul. My coffee is the same way. So getting
That's
that
tough,
Cinnamar
man.
involved really helped to darken that thing up. You know what I'm saying? So that thing turned out
Cinnamar.
beautiful.
You said Cinnamar?
Cinnamar, yeah. It's basically an additive that helps to darken beer. You see it used mostly in black IPAs and some stouts and some porters. Just darkens it and fines it up. So, like I said, that's where this beautiful black color comes from. Shouts to Old Irving, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out
man.
them, man.
Shout out Trevor, all the people over there. Yeah.
Black IPA. That's a new one. I haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard it. I've seen some darker IPAs, but never quite heard of a black IPA. So I'm learning something new today.
Hey, that's one of the best parts about this whole experience is, you know, the educational aspect. So always happy to talk turkey with y'all. I mean, well, talk beer. You talking about turkey.
So I'm having a hot butcher situation that just came out.
Sir.
This joint is Indy City. This is Meridian and Simcoe-Hopped IPA. This is a 6.5 ABV. This just came out a couple I'm gonna say
I think like a week. Yeah, it was on the release before the last. I think because I passed on it because I've recognized I give them too much of my money and I need to you know expand. You know, like Jay said, I need to expand a little bit on my diverse. Shout out my man B-Mont, diversify my palate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure.
So.
But yeah, so you know your I'm gonna say your basic IPA situation.
It's not one of their double dry hop joints, right? It don't say double dry hop on it, right? It's just a straightforward, right? Okay.
No, yes, it's just a straightforward IPA.
Got you. Okay.
It's got a tropical punch as far as tasting notes, a pleasant dank, and a juicy citrus.
I'm all about that dank, man. I'm all about that dank.
All about that dank.
Oh, well, you gonna love Summer 54 then.
Okay, all right.
You know what? That's a good segue.
You're good.
That's a good segue. He's good.
Let's do it.
You know what? Actually, before we get into Summer 54, I kind of want to talk about Jay, your early beginnings in beer. Why beer? What interests you about beer? Why take it further than just drinking it?
Well, I used to live the corporate lifestyle, dressing in suits every day. And once I left that area, we won't get into what sector of all of that I was in. But once I got out of that life, I kind of wanted to, halfway jokingly dress like John Cena and get paid to do it.
Mm.
I wanted to dress for comfort. And I was like, what allows me to do that? Oh, the liquor game. Okay. So initially I wanted to be a rep until all my rep friends told me how awful of an idea that was. So then I made a pivot. So you know what? Let's just start bar backing and bartending and just kind of get ingratiated with the industry, because what I was noticing that when I would apply for these jobs, I didn't have like tangible experience on a resume, but I could sit here and I could tell you about these hot bills and all of this stuff. And I just never, I didn't have the experience, so nobody would take a chance on me. So I had to do it the old fashioned way. I began bar backing and bartending at Theater on the Lake. And then once I started becoming more and more ingratiated with how the things work on the other side of the business, I decided I wanted to make beer. And I didn't make that a secret to anyone. I told people every day, I'd never aspired to be your bartender. This is a means to an end. And luckily enough, I have a mutual friend, a gentleman that runs the Chicago Bars Twitter account. He put me in the same room with Haymarket.
Word.
And Haymarket has just been awesome. They gave me full creative control. When I had to go get Brother Sam, because I had just met Sam the week before, like 2 weeks before, going to a random Bulls Knicks game, and he was bartending at a bar that was closing not too far from the UC. And I was just taken aback by, his energy and his passion for everything that he does. And he hit me with the follow me on Instagram. What are you talking about? Follow you on Instagram? Bro, who are you? Only thing I remember about that Bulls Knicks game is that Kobe White went off for like 12, 13 threes. Woke up the next morning, Kobe White wasn't on my mind. Sam was. So I went and checked out his IG, and I saw he was also an aspiring brewer. He was way further in the game than I was, but he was already, 10 toes into it. And I had to get him involved on this project. And I mean, Harold's 83 Honey, y'all know what it is. The rest is history.
Hey.
Brother Sam's doing his thing over at Goose now. I'm doing my thing all over the place. So proof positive that, the notion of pulling up works. So.
Wow, that's crazy that you all connected in that way. I thought you all knew each other for
and that's
a while.
The thing. That's that spirit of brotherhood right there. You see me and Sam out, you think we've been rocking with each other for years. I had just met Sam right before Harold's 83 Honey, but still that sense of fellowship that comes with craft beer, either drinking it or producing it, that shit is real, man. And like I said, that's my brother to this day.
So where did the idea, why make it a honey ale? And I'm talking about for all those listening and watching. Harold's 83. Why the honey ale? Like, I know that the Harold is for, twofold for Harold Washington, Harold's Chicken, for guys, for people with the name like Harold, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That name is very, very important to Chicago. So
why with this being is this your first beer?
This is my first beer. I've never home brewed before, never brewed anything anywhere. Harold's 83 Honey was literally a first pitch home run.
So why did you already know that you wanted to include honey in it? Did you already know you wanted it to be a honey ale? Why honey? Why not?
No, actually Sam and I decided we wanted to do something that, isn't really done. And so we knew we didn't want to do an IPA. But he made me aware of this social justice initiative over in the North Lawndale neighborhood called Sweet Beginnings through the North Lawndale Employment Network. And they reassimilate ex-offenders back into society by giving them life skills and teaching them job skills. And one of the skills that we found out that these folks are learning along the way was beekeeping. And they have multiple apiaries around the Chicagoland area. And so Sam was like, yo, we should just use their honey to make a beer. And I was like, yeah, that might cost us, but we pull up on Haymarket, worst thing they could say is no. Haymarket was like, nah, Absolutely, it's a great idea. And, that became the advent of what I'm finding out my greater passion and my greater mission and my greater purpose is, which is purpose-driven brewing, which is something, anybody can make a beer. And I love that about beer. But my beer has to have an intended purpose and an intended beneficiary that's someone other than myself and whoever I'm brewing the beer with. Harold's 83 Honey, case in point, Sweet Beginnings.
Right on. So is the new beer your next, the official next beer? Is it the next beer after Harold's 83? Or is there another beer before you even get to summer of 54? Because I'm trying to do your entire lineage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously we got the Black Beer Baron. Like I said, that just came from a spur of the moment visit to my friends. That's a continuation of the greater story, but Summer 54 is the next step in the story of, me trying to tell Chicago stories through beer. Summer 54 being a ruby red grapefruit and mango IPA.
Let's go.
Don't tell anybody I told you this. But it's going to top out at about 7.5% ABV. The ruby red and the mango, those inspirations come directly from a phone conversation that I had one random night with my friend and a noted award-winning baseball historian and writer, Shakia Taylor. She called me one night. I think I was watching like SVU or something. It was some random TV. It was mostly background noise. And she hit me and she was like, I want to write something on Ernie Banks and Minnie Minoso. And you should make a beer about it. And I get pitched beer ideas more often than not these days. It's a beautiful problem to have. Most of them I kind of have to take with a grain of salt because every idea ain't a good one, but it ain't my place to tell you that it ain't a good one.
Right.
But, Shakia is one of those people that when she speaks, you listen. So, I told her, I was like, you know what? I bounce it around in my head. I'll get back to you in a couple of days. See what I can get you, Man, I kid you not. 20 minutes later, the episode of SVU wasn't even over yet. I had bullet point. And the story I wanted to tell was an intersecting tale of two gentlemen who were the first Black players for their respective franchises. And a tribute to the friendship that they formed because Ernie Banks worked on the north side, but he damn sure couldn't live up there.
Mm-hmm.
So, these gentlemen became like legitimate friends. And it also just so happens that my mother was born that same summer. So that's just a built-in personal hook because I always try to find something personal.
Right.
In my crafting of beer, and it just worked perfectly. Like I said, the mango is for Cuba, which is where Minnie Minoso is from. Ruby red grapefruit is the state fruit of Texas, and that's where Ernie Banks is from. So again, it's just a continuation of telling these stories of Chicago through craft beer.
Hey man, listen. I try not to fan out when I have people on the show, but that's amazing, man. Like me listening to you talk, man, like how, the separate fruits and whatnot have their own, place within the story, but there's a larger story between Minnie Minoso and Ernie Banks, and that's just amazing, man. I just wanted to compliment you on that. That's all. But yeah.
I appreciate that.
And this beer's dropping, you said next Tuesday?
Yeah, next Tuesday we're doing a official tap party at Haymarket Brewery over on 737 West Randolph. It's going to go from about 5 to maybe 10 or 11. The cause in this particular instance is Lost Boys Inc., which is an anti-violence initiative in my neighborhood of South Shore, again, Eastside Crazy. Shouts to Levante. They keep kids off the streets and, in good spirits and good habits by getting them ingratiated with the game of baseball and or softball. And what I noticed is that, baseball and the African-American baseball players slowly but surely becoming extinct. That's not to say we have a shortage of Black players. The African-American ones are the ones I'm trying to focus on and try to get equipment to and try to get these kids to the Negro League Baseball Museum this summer in Kansas City. And to that point, we've already raised over $35,000 for Lost Boys Inc. And that's before anyone other than myself has had a drop of beer. So again, proof positive that it's working.
I was just having a conversation on my homie podcast. Shout out the Intelligent Idiots, and it was a sidebar conversation after the pod regarding how our kids, there's always the draw of basketball, obviously, because LeBron James is probably the big. And this, I love LeBron, whatever. But we was just talking about how you know, like the black kids and the leagues they're in. How we wish they had more funding and whatnot for the equipment and
Oh
all
yeah,
that kind of stuff that that others have. You know what I'm saying? In the places
absolutely.
like I'm in Wheaton. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure they baseball they baseball intramural whatever how it goes. Is yeah, but yeah, that's just yeah, man.
Yeah. Yo, so Summer of '54
Hmm.
is a nod to baseball and the joining of Ernie Banks and who again?
Minnie Minoso, who was the first black ball player for the Chicago White Sox. Oh, by the way, full disclosure, I'm a Sox fan. But what I'm trying to do, and another layer to this story, is we're going to unite Chicago baseball behind the one thing that the North Side and the South Side can agree on, which is good ass beer.
True.
That's a
So
fact.
again,
True.
That's a fact. That's a super fact.
Yo, and so is the goal. I would love to see this beer in the stadiums. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see this beer getting sold during games. Is that possibly a goal?
I mean, I'm not actively campaigning for it, but I would love that if that happens. Specifically, summer of '54. And speaking to that, we're like I said, we're having a North Side and a South Side tap party as well as the one at Haymarket. So we're really trying to get these neighborhoods involved and the areas around these ballparks involved and get them ingratiated with the story of two friends way back in the '50s, two friends now who came together to collaborate on a beer, and also these children. We're trying to get these kids right out here, y'all.
True.
Great beer is one thing, but if you ain't putting on for somebody else, what the hell are you doing out here?
Yeah. I think that's cool that thus far your beer projects have had some type of social initiative.
That's fire.
Every single one will do. I mean, Black Beer Baron, the proceeds from that are actually going up to the Dakota County Technical College's Diversity and Brewing Scholarship Fund. So like I said, I'm not out here just making beer to make beer. I can do that free.
Yeah. Did you know that? Okay, so you saying that you kind of realized that you wanted to do that after doing the first beer, and that you wanted to start having every beer have some type of social.
It just felt right,
Yeah.
and once I've set a precedent, I try to maintain that precedent. Like there's a level of expectations that come with my projects now, and I want to maintain that consistency. So you're always going to see somebody reap the benefits of my hard work on Brew Day later on down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's positive, and that's not that's drinking beer, getting drunk with a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
With a
man.
purpose in mind. That's what's up. Do we know where the beer will be sold?
Oh, absolutely. So it's a super, super limited allocation. So obviously your best bet to get the beer will be Haymarket's Brew Pub on 737 West Randolph. In addition to that, there will be some that land at my bar, Nisei Lounge, which is on 3430 Sheffield.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 blocks south of Wrigley Field, like literally straight down the block. I can hear the sounds of the ball game when I'm bartending and not from the TV.
I got to make it.
And then,
okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying because I was at Low Country last month.
Yeah.
Oh, and, man, hey, right down the street.
Bro, I'm listening like, oh, shit. So go ahead. Yeah.
And then on the south side of things, we're going to have a tap party next Friday, July 23rd at Mitchell's Tap. That's going to be at 3356 South Halsted. That's a Friday night. That's going to be a little bit later. That's for the grown folks. We're doing the thing for the kids at Haymarket. But the north side and the south side tap events, those are for the grown folks.
You said the 23rd?
The 23rd, Friday the 23rd, 9 p.m.
Turn up.
Right, because I'm listening. Because I know for a fact, no cap, I cannot make the 13th joint. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my calendar. That 23rd joint, that might be a move right there.
Slide down. Like I said, I have plenty of good beer available for you. You know what I'm saying?
And
All
so
right.
we'll be able to get this in cans. Will it be for sale at these events?
Yes, absolutely. It won't be in cans as of right now. This is a
Okay.
draft only offering, but what I'm noticing is that the energy and the reaction behind just the spirit of the project has that same trajectory as Heroes 83 Honey. So while I can't guarantee it, I absolutely can't rule it out, and I can't tell you that it probably won't happen eventually.
I was just about to say, because with Heroes 83, man, I remember, getting some cans from Sam, but I text Sam like a month ago, like, yo, I was just in Benny's out here in Wheaton, and your beer is
Yeah.
on the shelf out here, G, like in
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in the great west suburbs, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you never.
And our placement with Heroes 83 Honey is so crazy. Like, we're in Jewel Osco now. We're at Beer Temple, Beer Miscuous, Bitter Pops, Bottles and Cans. Honey Butter Fried Chicken's got us. Chef Eric over at Virtue on 53rd and Harper got us, and that's just a testament to Sam's hard work, the whole team over at Haymarket's hard work, and of course mine. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pat everybody else on the back and I give myself life.
Right.
Yeah, man.
It's just been a wonderful reaction, and now there's a legitimate buzz behind beers that I'm dropping, and these are just ideas that I'm coming up with my friends. There's no intense creative process.
That's what's beautiful, though, man. If you could, and when you this, even like, not trying to put a sense of it, but even this, like this, Beers and Bars is just an idea. Like, just talk. Me and Kamal always argue about music because he don't know nothing, and I know everything. You know what I'm saying? But this is just an idea. It's just an idea.
Oh man.
So, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Congrats, man. But yeah, again, y'all heard the places that he said the beer will be. You know what I'm saying? At one more time, just run it down one more time. The 13th and the 23rd event. Go ahead.
All right, so Tuesday, July 13th, we'll be at Haymarket's Brew Pub, 737 West Randolph. Tap event starts there. You can get tickets there at explore.top.com/Haymarket Beer. 2 days later, Northside Tap Party will be at Nisei Lounge. That is July 15th. That begins at 5 p.m. Those tickets are on exploretalk.com/Nisei Lounge. The following weekend, Friday, July 23rd, we're at Mitchell's Tap, 3356 South Halsted. That's at 9 p.m. That's for you night owls. I am much more of a day drinker, but I'll be there.
Word up. Come on, let's do some music, man. Let's go right to some more Chicago stuff, man. A young boy from the South Side, you know what I'm saying? Just dropped an album called 25. And
I'm actually I don't think I realized how young he was.
25, G.
I really thought because I've heard of G Herbo for a long time, so I always thought he was
back when he was Lil Herb and you
when he was Lil Herb, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely thought, he mentioned on a project doing it for like close to 10 years.
Yeah, man.
Which means he's been doing it since he was 15, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And has always had like that presence and that just like that perspective of someone 3-4 times his age. Hey, that's a product of coming up hard, especially coming up over East. I mean, everybody don't make it. And he speaks with a definite reverence to that. And I can appreciate that because it's somebody from my neighborhood speaking to things that I've seen. So I love that.
Yeah. Man. So first of all, I feel a way about artists from Chicago. I've been trying to. I really want it coined in the rap atmosphere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, trauma rap. You know what I'm saying? I really want that to be, coined somehow because. And what's crazy about it is that I see it oftentimes from Chicago artists more than any other artists, from Polo G, Lil Herb, Lil Durk, even the first person that made me think about it was Saba. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, 2018.
Care for me.
Yeah, that project.
where these artists are talking about real life situations that happen in the streets of Chicago about their close loved ones dying, and these kids are kids. They are young. You know what I'm saying? He G Herbo mentioned on the project how they say they old heads are 25. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you make it to that age.
Yeah, man.
And that's heartbreaking. And I'm never and I hear artists, and I listen to a lot of rap, and I hear these artists talk about whatever they talk about, and it doesn't hit me like it hits me
Yeah.
when it's an artist from Chicago. And so this project is interesting for me. Like I think G Herbo can rap. You know what I'm saying? I think G Herbo can rap.
That is very, very true. Like from all of the introspective raps that he gives you, don't forget that Herb can spit. Like he can go.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of got that on Statement. You definitely got that on Statement. Like he took that Major Harris loop that everybody knows and loves from the Diplomats.
I really mean it.
Yeah, and Herbo came and just spit flames on that thing. Like, hey, just so you know, I can give you the introspection, but don't ever get it twisted. I can rap. I'm a rapping ass nigga.
Yeah. Right. And his song with Bump J on the Judas and the Messiah soundtrack is my favorite track. Is bar none my favorite track. Like the man got off.
Understand, right?
But Herb is a good artist. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm gonna keep it real, man. For me, it was the musicality of it, the beats that kind of took it down for me a little bit, actually. I think that he can rap. I think that he is good. I think he is good. The beats though, they felt very just underground. They felt very regular, you know what I'm saying? Very just okay, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if he had some even a little bit more banging beats, you know what I'm saying? And this project would have been even that much greater. But for me, it was just kind of somber because but I can't even say that. I can't even say it was somber. But the tone of it, the fact that the idea that he named it 25 because he made it to 25. It just hurts, you know what I'm saying? But
I hear you, yeah.
But I can appreciate his voice. I remember and his perspective. I remember in an old interview he mentioned how he has a mother and father. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to take to the streets, but he knew that he was trying to get somewhere. And so he knew what the streets came with. He knew what the streets came with, and he accepted that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And he went about his business. And, you know what I'm saying, did whatever he did in the streets. But I thought that was very interesting because he didn't come from he will tell you, he didn't come from a broken household. You know what I'm saying? He had both his parents. He has both his parents. You know what I'm saying? But he took to that joint and he made a way. He made a way for himself. You know what I'm saying? I always look at G Herbo and see him like the guy. He's like preaching. He's preaching to the streets. You know what I'm saying? These are things you need to know for those folk in the streets. I'm talking to y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to y'all in the trenches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I like G Herbo though. I rock with G Herb though. I
Yeah.
rock with Herb, man.
I'll just say, man,
Oh yeah. Last
ahead.
thing, 2 Chainz is probably my favorite song. G. He got some joints on there. He got some joints, but just coming off the top without looking at the playlist yet, without looking at the track list, 2 Chainz is definitely that song. I'm like, yo, this man kind of, I like when he does, like, you know, he gets in his, you know, people used to say he kind of slow raps. He don't rap on beat, you know what I'm saying? But that's part of it, you know what I'm saying? That's part of his flow. That's part of his style, you know what I'm saying? But I rock with it though. I rock with bro. I rock with her.
I'll pick up from there and just say that and just give a couple points on the album. I do like that song as well. My favorite song might be Statement though, from the standpoint of Demands. I'm sorry, Demands.
Oh, yeah, Demands, yeah.
Because I really like how he can come from, you know, he stays within the street lane, but at the same time he's going to give you a different perspective that's more, you know, philosophical isn't the word, but you know, he's going to give you something that's introspective, right? But I like that joint. I like I Don't Want to Die. I like Cry No More. I do like
he opened strong.
Look,
yeah. Those
and that's
first
my
three.
thing. The out the gate, it was crazy. I do think towards the end it kind of gets a little long, but to your point, Kamal, yeah, man. Sometimes it is this trauma rap. It is tough. I was in the gym at like 6 a.m. when this album dropped. Well, the album dropped, and then I went to the gym the next day. It was 6 a.m. I put it on, and it had nothing to do with the fact that the music wasn't good. I just couldn't listen to Trauma that early. Like, I just couldn't get my day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm from here, right? Like, I was born out west. I was raised in Maywood, and you know, you watch the news every day. I got family. I got friends. I know people who died. When you hear those stories and you from here, it hits you different. So I literally was like on the elliptical, like, no, I can't do this right now. And I just couldn't at that moment. But I eventually went back to it, you know what I'm saying, listened to it when I was ready to turn up a little bit. And I think his voice, to your point, Kamal, is very necessary, man, from the standpoint of the Chicago streets, man. And, you know, I was watching the news the other day. We had some 90-some shootings, some 17 deaths, 11 of those deaths which were shorties. You know, so it's different coming when you hear this music and you really hear and you can turn your TV on like, damn. And you know he's speaking from a first-person perspective regarding his experiences. But, yeah, man, go ahead, Jay,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I actually have a similar story. I was riding home from the spot the night we talked about, we're going to discuss this album on this pod. And, you know, I had a couple of drink and I'm in my Uber home and I'm trying to listen. I was like, I can't listen to this, man. Don't have me crying in some random person's Uber. but I got my wits about me the next day and, sat down in front of 2K and just went through it once, went through it twice. And, you know, it's so often in drill rap, you hear, you know, I'm going to spin the block. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Yeah. That's why Herbo's voice is so refreshing because you hear about the other side, the consequences of that. And, you know, the pain that's felt from these actions. And like I said, you know, that's why he gets so much respect in these streets. So,
yeah, that's not talked about. That's not talked about. Like, you know, I think about a Kanye West line where it's like, do you know how I feel when people is dying?
Man, I remember that.
Some whack-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Unless people is rapping. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, people be dying, G. And rappers talk about shooting people all the time, killing people all the time. Yeah. It's rap listeners are desensitized to it because that's what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? They carry
and that's why people feel like hearing his perspective is so refreshing these days. It's like because nobody ever discussed it before that.
And he got and you know, a lot of artists from Chicago, mainly from Chicago. I mean, and that may be just from what I see, you know what I'm saying? But because I feel it when it's somebody from here, because I may know about some of those goings on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's talking about, like, to your point, Jay, he's talking about it from the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? People be dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, he's still talking about, man, he'll pull up on the ops, but he still has his people that have died. You know what I'm saying? And how he feels about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And why he does the things that he does and move the way that he moves because of what he's seen.
Those
you know what I'm saying?
experiences.
He saw a murder at 9.
9.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that I hope my children never have to endure.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Living in the city.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's like, and we over east. You know what I'm saying?
And we over east. Yep.
But what's crazy though? What's crazy?
Well, I'm still over east.
Right. What's crazy? We were walking the dog. OT, I told you this. We was walking the dog, and we saw a shooting. You know what I'm saying? Live. Literally not even, like, I'm going to say half a block from us. We hear shots and thinking it's fireworks, and we turn around and see a car, a tan car, somebody hop out and is shooting at somebody. We don't know. We run around. We were by a school. We run around school. Like,
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it hits me when I hear artists like G Herbo talking the way he's talking. You know what I'm saying? It hits home a little differently. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. And there's other artists that from Chicago that probably talk about gang stuff all the time. That, you know, even when Chief Keef dropped, I'm like, yo, this is a little much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a little much. But I feel her, and he, you know, like, Dirk has become a superstar.
Yeah.
Dirk is becoming like a media darling. Everybody want Dirk. Khaled, Drake, everybody getting Dirk. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's good for Chicago. That's beautiful. That's dope. He been grinding as well. He been grinding as well. I would love to see Herb on some of these bigger artists' platform.
With that Dirk trying? Yeah, I hear you.
Voice, he has a perspective, you know, is not always, I'm gonna say, club ready. It's introspective.
That's that to Jay West's point. It is a street introspective type. It's some Chicago Nas type shit from, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's not coming with like bottle popping gangster rap.
It's not.
He coming with
like Kamal, you called it trauma rap. I'd go as far as to say it's cause and effect rap, because you're hearing what causes these things and you're hearing the effects of what these events do to people and how they make people feel. Like Herbo has talked at length about how he struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder. And that speaks to a bigger thing, because, you know, we need to talk about the inner city's, you know, mental health and well-being, which is a conversation I'm eventually going to breach via beer, but y'all didn't hear me say that.
Hey, listen. Slept On Project, his 2020 PTSD joint, you know what I'm saying? And I listen,
Absolutely.
When I said, and I don't know, it was a joint I sent you when I said I've been thinking about poverty and how it got to be, wondering how we gonna pull ourselves out of this odyssey. Like, that's for real. Like the whole, like, I be thinking sometimes, like, how we gonna fix this? Yeah. What can we do? You know what I'm saying? Because what's the difference? You know, shout out to those who, you know, serve the country and whatnot, but you know, what's the difference between a kid that's coming up, seeing death around them, right? And someone else who goes overseas and fights and sees the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, the same type of trauma, the same type of psychological effects is what happens with these kids. People be thinking these kids are just bad. Man, you know what? I never seen somebody get killed at 9.
Right.
I don't know what that would do to me.
Yeah.
And that's not something that's not familiar to people who live in these impoverished communities within Chicago. Like, that's another day. Like, what does that do to you?
Day.
What do
And
you?
that's heartbreaking. That's the part that's
Mhm.
heartbreaking for me. You know what I'm saying? Just to see somebody die in front of your eyes by gunfire. And
He's supposed to be playing Xbox, G, or PlayStation or something. You seeing people die, but yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Before we
Yeah,
get you
like
out,
without getting into too much detail, all I
yeah,
can say is I remember my first time.
right, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And you know what? And artists, you know, I really hope artists like her, you know, he's not just another just regular rapper. You know what I'm saying? Regular street rapper.
Yeah.
Like he has a perspective that I would love to be heard on a bigger platform.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
I'm gonna ask Jay one more question before we get him out of here. If he wants to expound upon this. First of all, one question. Who's your favorite rapper of all time?
Mine?
Yes.
Oh man,
We always do this. I'm so sorry.
It used to be Ice Cube, and then he started going against the grain late last year, earlier this year, before everything went down when it went down. So I mean, I'm always going to default back to Big. I
Okay.
mean, just the nuance in his flow, and you know, it's always going to be Big for me. Like if it ain't Big at the moment, he in that top two.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go on record as saying Big. That Ice Cube thing never really happened, even though I got respect for O'Shea's pen game.
And
I just learned just yesterday. I really thought Prodigy came up with the line, but I just learned yesterday that it was Big that said, I got 11 Mac 11s, 38, 38, 9 9s, 10 Mac 10s that never
10 Mac
end.
10s, the shit's never end. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I didn't know that was Big. I did not know that was Big, G.
yeah.
Hey, big, so-called Big. This is on his label mate song. But if y'all want to get into that, we can. We say that for another day if you want.
Wait, what song? Wait, what song?
Come on, listen. I didn't know if we had enough time. We can keep going, but listen. I was gonna say, what is your bad boy conspiracy theory? Because I remember you said you had a bad boy conspiracy theory.
Big and Craig Mack, we're talking about each other on a flavor in your ear remix. Big, if you look back in them interviews, he's always been passionate about how much he can't stand Craig Mack. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about a friend of mine. But he, he said he's mad I get more but and then once he said, the UPS is hiring, I felt like he was looking directly at Craig Mack, and Craig Mack's verse was in response to what Biggie had said to them. Mm-hmm. Because I do remember a 94 interview. It was Big and C's, and they were overseas somewhere. And C's looked completely disinterested, but they asked about Craig Mack being on Big's album, and Big just flat out said, I don't mess with dude like that. I don't mess with dude like that. And then dude responded, well, you were on the Flavor in Your Ear remix, so clearly you worked there. He was like, man, I did that for political reasons. Puff asked me to do that, but I don't get down with that dude. Like, that happened.
Wow.
And we don't talk about it enough.
Now you about to have me.
And that is Jay West's bad boy conspiracy theory.
That's a good one.
Hey, if you look it up and listen with a concerned ear, you might hear what I heard, because I know what I heard.
Wow. Woo!
Okay.
That's one for the books right there.
It really is. I'm gonna have to do my investigation. I'm gonna have to go ahead, like you said, and listen with the concerned ear. So for sure, man.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a Beers and Bars.
Yeah, man. Jay. Well, first before we go, Jay West, tell everybody where they can follow you at, man.
You can follow me on Twitter at Major League. That's MAJALEEG. I also have a personal Instagram under the same name, but I have a dedicated brew page over on Instagram. It's called Black Beer Baron, which is the name of the company. Get down.
All right, man. We appreciate the time. Beers and bars, man.
Hell
We'll see
yeah.
everybody next time.
Peace.